to have a little fun? Put you a fish feeder on your dock. Put you a Texas Hunter fish feeder on your dock. Because you will have a ton of fish around it. Mostly bluegill. And your bluegill will get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's not a big one there, that's a small one. That's a small one right there. Not bad, but... Hey, no, Benilli, no. The bluegill unhooked itself and Benilli grabbed the bluegill. Better move that camera back a little bit. She will knock the tripod in the lake. We'll see what we do here. Might be able to catch a crappie or two, I don't know. There was some little crappie moved in here the other day. I hadn't been back down here. I mean, it's quite a few of them, like a lot of them. Now, I did catch two great big ones. The big ones are due to move in. We had those cold nights, but then all of a sudden, we're back up here and it's summertime again. Over 80 degrees again today. Amazing, simply amazing. And they promise us rain sometime here in the future. Looking forward to that. Quite a bit of rain, as a matter of fact. I can't get a hold of it. Oop, there's a small bluegill or a small crappie, I don't know what. I got a little swimming minnow on there. Little 16th ounce jig with a swimming minnow. I'm fishing right out there where the feed throws about 3 times a day. And there's some big bluegill in there. Big bluegill are really, really a lot of fun to catch. I mean, a lot of fun to catch. About as much fun as anything when you get right down to it. I'm afraid to have this thing very... Oh, there's one right there. Afraid to have this thing very close to the edge because I'm afraid Benilli will hit that tripod and knock it in the water, which wouldn't be a bad deal. We could fish the tripod out. The bad deal is a pretty high dollar iPhone attached to it. I think that if we could get it down there deep enough and not in the grass, we'll probably catch some crappie. But so far, all I've got is bluegill, but I've got one just almost every throw, Now, if you use a little bitty, tiny light rod, it's even more fun. I've actually got, Benilli, quit. You quit. I've actually got a fairly heavy rod on it. It's a good sized bluegill right there. Quit. I thought maybe I could shake it off since I don't have a barb on there, but it didn't work that way. I caught actually a couple of large, Benilli's wanting to jump in there. Look at her. She tried to jump in there after those fish. She did the other day. She jumped in after one of them. You believe that? I caught a couple big crappie the other day. Only got 2. Got them right out in there, and I got it down there fairly deep, but still had to stay up on top of the grass because there's a lot of grass out there. That grass is, the lake's so low this year, and the grass grew so high that we had a lot of places that we normally, it feels like it could be a, what is that? Oh, it's a crappie. Hey, Benilli, quit. Leave it alone. It's a crappie, not a big crappie, but a crappie. Thought that kind of felt like a crappie when it hit. I think that one I lost a second ago. Boy, he got that swimming minnow down pretty deep too. Yeah, looky there. That's not bad. It's a small crappie though. Barely big enough to eat. Y'all leave them alone. We're throwing them back. Y'all, anything alive that you want, Benilli wants to go get and bring to you. And she just goes crazy every time she sees a fish. And I think she's gonna grow out of that. I'm not sure. Oh, that was a little bass right there. So we caught bluegill, crappie, and bass. Caught all 3. That's what normally happens when you're fishing with that little swimming minnow, is you catch about everything that's out there to fish with. You put a little 16th ounce jig on, and that little swimming minnow or that lucky bug. Lucky bug is this little bait that works really good too. Put it on a jig head. The 16th ounce jig head seemingly gets you a few more bites because it's a little smaller than an 1/8 ounce. I like an 1/8 ounce because the 1/8 ounce got a little bit bigger hook in it. And you're able to get a bass on there and hold on to a bass and be able to catch it. Benilli, it just goes crazy every time you get a bite. Kind of like me, I go crazy every time I get a bite too. That's in the grass right there. That acts like another crappie. Pretty tiny crappie if it is. Yeah, it's a crappie. That one's smaller than the other one. Boy, they are swallowing it. Look at that. Look at that thing's way down in their mouth. I have to use my finger to get down there and try to get it out. Hard to get out. And I don't even have a barb on there. Pretty fish. But now they can't figure out where they go when you throw them back, and they're just gone. She can't figure that out. That little swimming minnow just looks like a little minnow is what it looks like. Pretty little bait. Small hook, barber smash down. You're gonna lose a few with the barber smash down, but you're not gonna lose too many. Now right out in there, I could get it down pretty deep, but still try to keep it out of the grass. That's where I caught a couple big crappie the other day. One of them was like 2 pounds. The other one was probably 1.5 pounds. They were both big. Only 2 big crappie I caught. Everything else was small. I was just trying to catch a few bluegill, but it's due for the crappie to start moving into the dock here. Start getting a little bit shallower water where we can catch them. You can catch quite a few here, but they're mostly small. Ooh, golly, if you get a bite real quick like that, it's a bluegill just pretty much every time. You got to get your bait a little bit deeper to be able to catch those crappie. And sometimes it's hard to get it down deeper. Without those bluegill biting it. Of course, the other thing they do is they pull your plastic down. They pull your soft plastic down on the hook. And with that barbless hook on there, one of the things that the barb does, it holds the fish, keeps the fish from getting off. It also keeps that soft plastic from coming off. So if you fish barbless, which I do all the time, if you fish barbless, you are going to lose a little bit more plastic. Plastic worms and little plastic when you're crappie fishing. Oh, there's here, bluegill. Ooh, nice. Hey, quit, Benilli, quit. Well, you look at that bluegill. They're getting bigger, aren't they? That's a nice bluegill right there. That is a nice bluegill right there. I can't hardly get my hands around him. Got my spread out as far as I can. Look how big he is. Look how big he is. That was a big one right there. You catch one of those every now and then. A lot of smaller ones. There's a lot in there that size, though. A lot in there that size. Okay, I moved over to the other side of the dock just to change the light where the light wasn't in my eyes. It's getting late in the evening. These fish, and there's not nearly as many bluegill on this side of the dock right here, but we might be able to catch a crappie over here. I don't know. It's a little bit deeper water before we get down to the grass. Oh, there's a crappie right there. Oh, that was a crappie, but it was about half the size of those other small ones that I caught. Now, what I caught over on this side the other day, to be honest with you, when I was down here 4 or 5 days ago, they were small. The only 2 big ones I caught at that other end. And those little crappie come in here, and they load up, and there's just bunches and bunches and bunches and bunches of them. And that's good, really. I mean, this is one right here. It's good because you need little crappie if you're going to have big crappie. So now that crappie there is, get down. Hey, get down. That crappie, he quit. That crappie right there is big enough to eat. That's a big enough crappie to eat. I'm not going to eat it, but it's big enough to eat. And you're not going to eat it either. I don't know what I want to do with her. I mean, she jumped in a lake. She jumped in the lake to try to find that fish. She jumped in the lake to try to get that fish. That's the way to scare all your fish away. Good. Benilli, no. Now she's going after my bait. Benilli. Look at the silly dog down there. Look at her just swimming around. She just swam around waiting for me to throw something in so she can go retrieve it. That's what you call a retrieving water dog right there. Go to the bank. Go to the bank. I guess it's going to end this fishing trip, isn't it, huh? Huh? Go to the bank, Benilli. Apache, call Benilli. Call her.